Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mainstream Dissident. My name is Adam and I'll be your host. This episode is being recorded on October 22nd, 2025. And guys, remember, if you like what you hear today, go ahead and click the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really does help. And if you guys want to find any of my affiliate sponsor links, they will be in the description here. And without further ado, I have a guest on with me today. His name is Ben, and he runs the Ohio Nationalist Network. And I am going to let Ben give a brief introduction here. How's it going tonight, man?
It's going, man. I'm digging through the ditches and burning through the witches. So
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Little Rob Zombie there. I like it. I like it. So first and foremost, if the guys like what they hear tonight, where is the best to reach you or your organization?
best way to reach us, everyone is free to DM us on Twitter. The best way is through Telegram. Twitter, I've noticed, kind of has a delay with giving me notifications. But if anyone wants to get a hold of us, Telegram at ONN vetting, all caps on Telegram, and then our email would be onnvetting at tutamail.com, Tuta. And those are our main socials. We don't have much else right now. We're working on getting a website made and stuff like that, but that's just what we have currently. So
Yeah, dude. And you know what? We actually met on X. I do believe it was through Logos revealed Zach Logos in one way or another. We might have been in a group chat together,
yeah,
actually. Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. Um, but yeah, dude. So for all the viewers out there who might be wondering, wait a minute, what is ONN and what is Ohio Nationalist Network and why is mainstream dissident? Why is he talking about all this? Well, guys, this is a organization of men, white men, who are collectivizing. And I know that I've talked about this in many, many episodes like, hey, we need to collectivize, otherwise we're screwed. Well, this is going to be a little intro here. I brought Ben on tonight just to kind of get everyone's feet wet with what to expect, maybe what to, if you are curious out there, how to go about things. But yeah, Ben, what is if you had to give a summary, what is ONN?
so ONN, we came from the active club movement. We're no longer an active club, but we outgrew it. I guess I don't want to say that in like a bad way because I still have a lot of love for the active club movement and the people involved, but we just wanted to do a little bit more. Like, don't get me wrong, we still do the martial arts training, the hiking, the lifting, and stuff like that. You know, we love giving each other CTE. It's a hobby of ours, but we gotta. At the end of the day, we have to achieve political power, and ONN, our goal is basically a cultural revolution. Over the next 5 to 10 years, we basically want to make everyone in Ohio, as many people as we can, bring them to the white nationalist NS belief system, whatever you want to call it. That's our goal. Because we want to we would love to have people in office in like local political positions or whatever. Thomas Massey is awesome. We love that guy, but I'm not far from Kentucky, and there isn't a cultural shift there. Like things are still basically the same um, as they are here. There's still all the same problems. There's still drugs. There's still this race mixing issue. There's still all of this, and so politics matters, policy matters. But if we have a culture of national socialism, a culture of resisting Jewish power, I think that's more powerful than having someone in office. Not that that should be discounted. We should have people in office. That is needed, 100%. But I think it's kind of a 60-40 split between the two. I'd rather have the people than the elite. That's just me.
Yeah, man, that is well said. That is well said. And we'll definitely touch on politics, local and higher levels in the future here. But what role do you play in the organization?
So I had the organization up. We do have co-leads and stuff like that. We kind of break things. There's a regional lead for every region where we have people. Um, you know, I do a lot of the spokesman stuff, and I lead a lot of the activism. Uh, that's basically it. We're just activists and networking is my main thing right now. So
Nice.
as we grow, I'll have a lot more responsibilities. I guess I'm also the default treasurer, um, which is I love to put that on somebody else because I don't like being in charge of money. Um,
You hear that, guys? He's looking for a treasurer. All you do we call you Ohioans or do we call you Ohatians?
Haitians, yeah, I'd appreciate not being called an
Not
Ohatian.
that? Okay.
Uh,
I'll refrain from
Ohio,
that one.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just Ohioans, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh,
But, dude, okay, so you kinda touched on, how you got started in an active club, either that or as an active club. Um, can you explain to the audience? Because I'm sure that not all guys, they might have heard the term active club, but are you able to explain to the audience what an active club is and how you started? Like, what was the final nail in the coffin, so to speak, to get you to make that push to actually form an organized group to do what you're doing today?
so active clubs are really, really good for bringing people into the movement. We brought so many people in that it was their first organization. They didn't think that they would ever do something like this. But what ACs do, they're really good for building bonds. They're really good for improving yourself, and they're very good first time organizations. They're really good for getting your feet wet because active clubs don't do goofy stuff. Like they don't do activism. Active clubs actually don't do activism, which was one of the reasons we left. But if you're just getting your feet wet, then that can be kind of comforting because there's a lot of activism in America that's gone south. And so people want to be involved, but they don't necessarily want to be involved in anything stupid. So active clubs filled that void, and I think that's part of why they were so popular. They didn't feel like a waste of time, and I don't think they're a waste of time. I think they're really, really good. They're really, really good things for this movement. But I've always thought that it was just a start. Like you get guys together, you improve yourself, you build trust, you build community, and then you move into the world. I don't think it's you know you make friends, you punch each other. Step two, profit. Like like you can't kick and punch your way into political power. Like you just can't do it.
So,
Um,
like, if you were to join an active club, most of them, to my knowledge, because 'cause I'm not a part of one yet or at all, um, most of them I know they do sparring. I think you mentioned martial arts, hiking, um, just to name a few. Was there anything else that you guys did besides, like, and I think the biggest draw, especially in today's, liberalized, racial jungle out there, um, is to be around like-minded individuals. That's a big draw there, but yeah, what can a guy expect if they do join an active club like that?
stuff like what you just said. And there's community stuff, just hanging out. That's also an important thing to do. Hang out, build social bonds, man. This is kind of a might sound counterintuitive, but there's nothing wrong with just hanging out and playing video games. So long as you do the other stuff. You can't just do that. That's not productive in any capacity. But there's nothing wrong with that so long as you're doing the sparring, doing the lifting, you do that after, it's fine.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Um, so the audience might be intrigued to know if you guys follow me on X, you would already know that I actually went to an Oktoberfest event recently that was another organization, Nova, and ONN, Ohio Nationalist Network. They actually teamed up, paired together, and they put on this awesome event. There was free food, free drinks. I tipped the guys well because, it's implied I'm there and they're providing a service. Dude, it was a great time, and, even though I knew Ben before, I didn't know he was giving a speech that night. It was it was awesome, and correct me if I'm wrong, I actually tried to remember a quote from your speech, buddy. It was cool. You said if you it correct me if I'm wrong, you said, "If your type of activism makes people feel like they need to call the cops, you're doing it wrong."
Yeah,
Is that about what you said?
I think I said police, but yes, yes, that's
Yes.
that's it.
Yeah,
Like,
and so if you say there that, okay, if you're making people feel that uncomfortable, you're doing it wrong, what type of activism then would you say would be the right kind?
well, when I say this, this is not to optics cuck, which if you were at my speech, you know that I did not optics cuck at all. Uh, yeah, it's not about optics; it's about aesthetics. You need to, one, look presentable. You need to articulate points that people care about. One thing near me that I haven't got the chance to do this, and if you are in an activist org and something like this is happening near you, you should really capitalize on it. I haven't got the chance to, but I'm going to. I don't want a monopoly over like good ideas, but there's a local energy company that has been throttling people's prices and enrolling them in this weird program to where it's like communal, but you can opt out of it, but they don't send you a notification. So you have to like call them and opt out. And if you don't opt out, it costs you like an extra $200. And doing that to like an entire city, it makes an insane amount of money. And I think 6 to 10 people on their board are Jewish, which is like there's not a lot of Jews in Cincinnati. There's
Is that
not.
co is that
They're all
coincidental?
yeah, yeah. Is it coincidental? I don't think so. Like they're all in like Blue Ash and Indian Hill, which are like the super bougie parts of town. Um, Going out and handing flyers to people like, hey, did your energy bill go up? And everyone's gonna be like, yes, they did. And they're gonna be pissed about it. Like, well, did you know that 6 or 10? I don't want to speak. More than a plurality of their board members are Jewish, and go into like the other things that Jews do in regards to this. Um, bring
So you're saying
call
use
on board. Uh,
use that almost as like a stepping stone, "Hey, here's the conversation starter about something real that happened to you and other people around you."
yeah, because it's not just like the system. The system is ran by people. Like it's not just a vague, murky. It's made to look that way. It's made to look. It's made to confuse you. Um, but at the end of the day, it's just Jews, man. Like there are traitors, of course, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. And when you point that out to people, that only helps our cause. And maybe they won't be ideologically committed off the rip. They probably won't. You know, and you got to make sure your stuff doesn't look schizophrenic. You know, I see a lot of stuff where it's like a Star of David and like a satanic star and like the Baphomet, and it just looks like 2011 conspiracy theorist stuff. And I know people came out of that milieu, but like it doesn't look hinged. Like you look unhinged when you do that. Like our propaganda should be unassailable. It should be unassailable. No one should be able to counter it. Like we have to meet people where they're at. Like, dude, when people are getting throttled for no, I mean, they're getting ripped off for no reason. Like, it's take advantage of it. Use that as a tool. It's probably happening to. I mean, I lived in that area. It could easily happen to me if I was aware of it. But and if you walk into like if I had flyers that had that, and I went to a gas station or Kroger's, and I just handed those out, I bet I could find five more people who actually like have my belief. Dude, it's so much more common. Everyone just has this paranoia about getting involved IRL. But we're out there, man. We're out there, and I meet our guys all the time. I meet us all the time. A great intro. If you want to see if someone is one of us, just when you introduce yourselves, just say shalom, and they'll either be like, "Okay, is this guy a Jew?" and they'll get like very offended, or they'll be like, "Okay, this guy knows what's up," or they won't know what you're talking about, and
Yeah.
you kind of judge from there by their reactions.
Yeah, dude, like, I realize that, okay, there's not a lot of people paying attention, that's a given, like, uh, you put in one of those "Hey, shalom," whether you say it sarcastically or not, a lot of people won't know what you're talking about, but it is
Our
uplifting, like
guys'
you
ears will
said.
perk up. Our
Oh,
guys'
yeah,
ears
dude.
will perk up. Be like, "Huh?"
Exactly, exactly. I have never have I ever said shalom, uh, to a stranger, but maybe I will in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
if they're a Jew, maybe you'll get some kind of hookup. It opens many doors. It
that
opens many doors.
be like, we'll only charge you 5% interest. But, anyway, so you kinda briefly touched on, like, okay, how can we get the door open? How can we get the ball rolling? How can we maybe attract more people, to what we are doing, in your case, ONN. So, at that point, let's say guys are in, they're getting adjusted, they got vetted, all that good stuff. Um, can you name some examples of recent activism that you and your guys, did?
Yeah, if I can touch on a little bit more of that, of
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean by
Yeah,
don't
please.
like like I said, it's aesthetics, not optics. I'm not an optics cuck. I am not an optics cuck. None of that. But when it comes to like marches, there is no need for us to do marches. There just isn't, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for those who like marches. The people hate that shit. They don't like it. People who are people in America are so exhausted by the constant spectacle that is around them. People just for the most part want to be left alone. And when you have like however many guys marching down with masks and flags, people are just like, God, dude, what is this? That's most people's reactions. The other reaction is, do I need to call the police? You would be better taking, a team of five guys and just handing out leaflets to people and having a conversation with people, or having a demonstration where you're not wearing masks and you're just holding signs peacefully. That's most of what we have done as far as demos go, and we have gotten great reactions. No one's, called us feds except for like one spurred on Twitter. And it's only been one, so those are good numbers.
Yeah, that's impressive. Twitter is dude, there is
Zero
so
brain
many
cells.
and they're just like, "Hey, he's doing something, he's a Fed. Oh, they're doing something, they're a Fed." And it's like, oh, let me backtrack. You said, "Hey, there is a paranoia about getting active." Dude, honestly, before I got vetted as an attendee to that event, I was kinda paranoid too. It's because there has been such a negative stigma put around it, like, "Hey, if you get involved or you collectivize or anything, you're gonna get taken down and you're an enemy of the state." Now, dude,
Just get
Antifa's
up.
doing it all the time, and they're fine.
If you get taken down, you have to get up, dude. Not
Boom.
it. That's it. Thomas Sowell's been doing it. He's been taken down like four times. He's gone to prison like four times in the last 4 years. You know what he does? He keeps getting up. Stop being a fucking pussy, dude. Like,
Dude, base.
not at you, not at you, but
No,
like
I
to the
got you, I
people
got
out
you.
there. To the people out there, sorry if you have to bleep that, but it's just absurd. Like, I don't like, do you guys know what's going on? Like, there are 15 to 20,000 black on white rapes every year. That is a stadium full of white women every year who are victims of rape. And every year, new victims. Take me to jail. I don't, if it's what has to happen, it's what has to happen. But like, I'm so done with this. It's the cowardice, man. The cowardice drives me insane. It hurts my heart because there's people I know. There's all these Aryan super soldiers I know who are, frankly, like bigger than me. Like they're like over 6 foot tall, and a lot of them are jacked. I'll ask them like, "Dude, you should join my org. Like, we need strong guys." And they're like, "I don't want to get doxxed. I don't want to go to jail." And it's like, dude, I'm full disclosure. I'm 5'9", uh, and I'm going out, and there are guys who are smaller than me who are also going out with me, mask off, on the west side of Cincinnati, doing demonstrations in front of blacks, in front of libtards, all of it. It's not about how big your body is, guys. It's about how big your heart is. You know, it, I just sometimes I'm at a loss for words. Like
No, man.
it's about our kids. It's about our women. It's about justice as well. And to hear all these excuses, it's heartbreaking because I have faith in us. Not only do I have faith, I have certainty that we will win and that justice triumphs. But man, it's
Oh,
test that faith.
yes, and I think you might have cut out just briefly before, you said test that faith, but I'll look at it in post here. We touched about your activism a little bit. You told me something that I thought was really cool, or do you wanna share with the audience, the story about the grocery giveaway that you did?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, please, because dude, that honestly, you asked me, before recording, you asked me what my wife thought of the event when we went, and, dude, that was something that touched her heart hearing how you guys did that, but yeah, just briefly if you could.
This is something that had been on my mind for a while. It was kind of it was not exactly the way I wanted it to be. Like I had bought a table off of Facebook Marketplace. It was smaller than I thought it was, and it looked kind of rinky dink. Like our setup looked it was our first time doing it, and it looked a little rinky dink. But people still came up and they grabbed groceries from me and one of our other members. And one of these people was a well, it was a family. It was a family. They were all in the car, and the wife rolled down her window when she approached us, and she said, "I don't want to take anything, but we don't have any food left." And that's such a common thing. Our people hate asking for help. I don't see that among other races, with the exception of maybe like Asians, but they hate that. We have a lot of pride, and my mom and dad are like that too. They don't like asking for help because they were raised brutally poor. My mom and dad were so poor that in the 80s, black people made fun of them for being poor. That's how poor they were.
Wow.
Like my dad should write a book. He should write a book. It'd be a bestseller. All this shit about white privilege when I was growing up drove me nuts. And I wasn't like a hardcore WN back then, but it always rubbed me the wrong way. I'm getting distracted. Maybe I could talk about that kind of stuff later. But she said she didn't have any food left. And she was like, I have 3 kids. And I was like, take whatever you need, like as much as you need. And she got out, and I realized she didn't have 3 kids. She had 4 because she was pregnant. And I started explaining what we had in the bag. And I was like, we have peanut butter and jelly, we have spaghetti, we have chili, so you can make whatever stuff that you can make meals with. If anyone wants to do this, try and get things that aren't just random food. Try and get things that can be made into meals for people, especially kids. And I was like, "We have granola bars and apples and the little oranges." You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Cuties? I forget what they're called.
Yeah,
Uh,
cuties, yep.
we threw some of those in there, and I looked up, and she was bawling, gave me the biggest hug, and we gave her, like, 4 or 5 bags of groceries, and her husband said, "Thank you," and they took off. It was hard, man. You know, that could have been my sister. That could have been, that was my mom when she was a kid. She was one of those kids. That was my grandma. That was my grandma, dude. That was my grandma 40 years ago. It's just tough to see, our people like that. They don't want to take help. They don't want, they definitely don't want to take help from the state. Everyone knows something's wrong. They just don't know what. I was happy we were able to help, but man, it stung. She was like, "My daughter is so happy you guys are here. She just wanted to give you something." And I was just like, "Okay." And this little like 6-year-old girl hops out and she gives us all of like the change in her car. Like she was just like happy we were doing something for someone. And like this was also after like Charlie Kirk was killed and like
Yeah.
and this was also that Catholic Church was shot up.
Yeah, like,
You
days
remember that?
before.
Yeah, everyone forgot about that. We pulled in and then she saw you guys and she was like, "There are good people in the world," and she was like, "Yeah." And I was just like, "Dude." um,
That's some activism right there. You said about marching around earlier, and you think marches are stupid, and
Dude, if you
I
guys have 1,000 guys, okay, if you guys have 500 guys, anything short of that, I'm sorry, that's just like you are just being bothersome at that point.
yeah, you got 20 dudes marching around. That's more of
That's a
a
street walk.
gang. Yeah.
That's a street walk. You're just I don't know. I don't even know it. That's not a. I don't think it's a gang. I don't. It's just lame. It's lame, dude.
Alright. Okay, dude. So, did you know personally any of the vendors that were there?
Yes, yes. We had one of our guys who he owns a label, and he was
Okay.
selling a lot of merch.
Dude, and you're gonna hate me for this. I regret not buying a shirt. You said, "Hey, my boy's over there, the shirt." I thought that was awesome. They had Greg Conti there. He brought a guy that actually did head measurements
Oh
like
yeah,
they
I got my skull measured.
me too, skull measurements, excuse me.
Yeah.
Um, dude, I thought that was great. That was a fun time. It made it very enjoyable. Um, and
He
then
told me that I'm basically French and it made me want to stick a gun in my mouth. He
I
was
get
like he was like, he's like, "You're 77. That's your score." And I was like, "So what does that mean?" He's like, "Basically it means you're French." And I was like, "No." But
No, 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 wait. Yeah.
yeah, no, no. It's like I don't it's like I've never wanted to sit out on my front porch and smoke a cigarette on my underwear. What are you talking about?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're definitely not the
I
type to surrender
I think
either.
yeah, I think it's because I'm like a mix. I'm like such a mix of like the areas around France
Yeah.
that I basically end up having that. That's what he said. Because I was like, I'm German, British, and Italian. Don't tell anyone I'm Italian, please.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah,
won't.
don't tell
Hopefully no one
anyone that.
watches this.
You can tell people I'm like Puerto Rican or Cuban, but please don't tell
Whoa,
them.
dude. I don't know how to take that. That's that's great. Um, dude,
But yeah,
but
I did that. That was some funny. That was funny. A lot of
that's
my guys got
awesome.
this. It's just, that's just goofy. Um, if you guys want your skull measured out there and you want to know how Aryan you are, you guys got to get vetted for
Yeah.
Nova or ONN. So
Yes. Yes, and we're gonna get right to that, but the one person that I wanted to mention, that I actually met there for the first time, sponsors the show. That's right, Antelope Hill Publishing sponsors this show. I met them at the event. They're based, guys. They're based. I told you they didn't just sell great books. Promo code Main D for 5% off your entire order. Sorry about that, Ben. Let's get back to business. Let's get back to
no, you're
business.
good, man.
So you
Plug
just
away.
mentioned, yeah, I we gotta plug the boys, dude, because that's one thing, and I'm gonna go on a tangent here because you got me thinking, and I was thinking about this a lot today. That's one thing that I am considering doing is maybe making a website to where pro-white businesses, not just any businesses but ran by a white guy, because that's a lot of them, but explicitly pro-white businesses maybe make a website and have that kind of be like parallel economy. Everyone's talking about that, but that's in the works behind the scene. We got to see what I can do with that.
Yeah,
um
everyone go buy some Antelope Hill books. Place of me, because I can't read.
oh dude, I wasn't going to tell anyone till the end, but yeah.
Yeah, don't tell anyone I can't read. Don't tell anyone I'm Italian.
That's that's, no, I'm not gonna comment on the Italian thing. I'm not Italian as far as I'm aware,
No,
but it's
I'm not
I got a
actually.
buddy that calls them. He's like, "Italians? You mean Northern Africans?" Like,
Yeah,
dude, I'm like, "Why you guys gotta be like European descent? It's okay.
yeah. I
Italians,
just like
you're
I
fine
just
with
like
me."
that's my like just busting people's balls.
Oh, it's great, dude. I love it. Lean into it. It's fun. We gotta have fun, because if we're not having fun, we're doing it wrong.
I'm only like 7%. Like my mom made it like where we were like the super Italian family. It's like no, not at
No.
all. Like it's barely there. Yeah, it's like mostly German, British, and there's some Irish and Dutch thrown in there as well.
Yeah, dude. Sounds European to me. But as far as we talked about vetting, our audience is probably like, "Hey, what do they mean vetting?" Um, so first, I have like just a quick series of questions. Do you let anyone join ONN? And what what does vetting look like? Do you let anyone join?
Well, we definitely don't let anyone join. We do have standards,
Okay.
and we do reject a lot of people. I don't want to get too into the weeds with our vetting process just because of potential bad actors taking advantage of that. But we don't let anyone in, or let just anyone in. We do have standards, and we do want quality people. You know, uh,
Y-
if you want in, uh, do your best to not be a spur. That's
Yeah.
my main thing. Don't be a spaz.
Yeah, and we have guys, a lot of guys that are passionate about activism, but then there are some guys out there, dude, that are just it's I don't want to say that they give every one of us a bad name, but you'll have
No,
that
they do.
in any group. That boisterous asshole that's just going to just, okay, well, we just talked about how we are giving positive activism and we're trying to be palatable to all of the people out there. And then you got this guy who's saying expletives at any chance and just totally throwing a wrench in the natural flow of things, the calculated progress. It's
Yeah,
sad to see, dude.
you got a anime Hitler rapist 1488. Um, it's like
That's a real screen name.
this. Yeah, that dude is on Twitter right now.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, those guys, I call those people thrill seekers. Those are people that should just take up skydiving. Like a lot of those guys who are like into really combative activism don't actually give a shit. They just want, they just love the thrill. And I know this because I've heard them say it.
Yeah.
Like just straight up, I've heard them say that, man. And you can tell they don't care because of the other actions that they do. A lot of them are fat. They don't care about themselves, let alone people around them. So how am I supposed to take them seriously? It's just those people are thrill seekers.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, that's a good point. I actually have a guy, buddy of mine. He's a little bigger. I wouldn't necessarily call him a fat guy, but he's got some extra weight, and he actually was considering joining an active club just to lose weight, along with all
That
the other
happens.
benefits. Yeah,
Yeah, that
dude, and
happens.
that's
It's not a
that's
bad
that's
thing
a
to do.
big benefit.
Dude, it's like I'm not actually like shitting on people that are overweight. Like it is hard to not be overweight in America because there's so much poison in our foods. You got to do it, man. You got to have self control. If you get lax with it, then you got to fix it. You know,
Yeah.
but it's better to just maintain that so you don't. I don't know. Like the best thing for a lazy person is for them to not be lazy because then they'll have less problems that they have to solve. You know what I mean?
Yes. Why, in your opinion, and this might be a longer answer, it doesn't have to be, but why, in your opinion, What's the importance of white unity, and why should we strive for it?
because we got to, man.
Hell yeah.
What else is there? What
Every other
happens?
race is doing it.
What happens if we don't? We're gone.
Yep.
That's not an option. It's just not an option. There really isn't a long answer to it. It's just we have to.
Dude,
It really
that's
is.
honestly a based answer.
Yeah, I'm based.
Dude. So so let me ask you this here before we switch gears. So a lot of guys, we've already touched on it, they're apprehensive. Um, I actually your answer to my vetting question, what does vetting look like? Your answer just shows me the security that your team, Nova, other organizations have. It's like we care about the people that are in these movements, just like we care about ourselves. We want it's a very protectionary system. It's a very well secured system. Before that Oktoberfest event, dude, I had no idea. I had no experience. I was a little on edge prior to everything, but after vetting, it eased my mind. After showing up and meeting every single person there was one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. It was like, wow, I was scared for nothing, you know?
Dude,
Look,
I
I saw you
felt
smile a
I
little.
felt I felt so bad for Logos, dude, at the
Why?
after party because of the coffee.
Oh
The
my
coffee
gosh.
the coffee
Zach,
incident. Oh
if
my
you
god,
tune
this
in,
poor
buddy,
guy,
that was hysterical. There was
dude,
no
that poor
coffee
guy.
maker.
He wanted
There was
coffee so bad, and he
dude,
just oh my it was a saga, dude. It was like a 2-hour-long saga of him trying to get coffee, and I was
and
trying
then
to help him. He was losing.
yeah, he was like,
Love Nick. We love Logos, but, like, man,
"Oh my yes."
that
He
was
was,
funny.
"Guys, I have a list. I'm gonna go find the young couple that was supposed to go with me. I think they stepped outside." And he was about to go leave. The young couple walks in right after, and I'm like, "Hey, Zach was looking for you." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Um, long story short, guys, the coffee maker did return. It was actually taken to the event. But that was funny. That was funny, man.
And,
Um,
we used above time coffee roast.
oh, above time coffee. Is that another white pro white business?
Yes,
Do you
yes.
were you looking to see if you had some in there? Above time
No,
coffee?
I know I don't have any. There's nothing over here.
I
I was
got you.
trying to see if there was anything I could do that would be like a good joke. Nothing.
All good, brother. All good.
Best I can do is Jewish caffeine energy.
That's all right. Dude, I'm addicted to those. But,
Dude, it's bad.
so
Dude, I'll go through 2 of these in a day. These are the big ones, dude. I have a problem.
let me ask you this. Here's something that I think's keeping and I could be misguided, man. I could be misguided. Here's something that I think is keeping a lot of men away from, getting active, even in an active club or even in, something, like Ohio Nationalist Network. What if guys get vetted, they go to events, they do a little activism, and what if life happens or circumstances change for them and they want to retire or leave the organization? Um, is that even possible? What does that look like?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, we're not gonna kill you if you leave, so, yeah, it's possible. You know, if for me, what I'll tell people when they come in, and I could share this, but it's like, man, because I've had this happen where people just bail from, like, the org, and I don't hear anything back, and it's like, "What was that dude's what was his deal?" And what I tell people is, "Man, like, I'm here for you. Like, if you are feeling a certain way, if something's bothering you, if someone says something to you that makes you uncomfortable, let me know. Like, it's my duty to, like, make sure everything is going smoothly and everyone's, like, taken care of, so to speak. If someone needs to step away, I've had people step away, and then come back. I had a guy, he's like, dude, my life is just a wreck right now. Like, I can't commit to anything. I gotta bail. And I was just like, okay, man. And he came back. He came back later
Nice.
when his stuff was straight, and I'm glad he was able to take care of it. I can't. This stuff is extremely important. Like, I cannot express that enough. Like, how being involved in this movement, like, it is so important. Everyone, I think, should be orienting their lives towards this struggle.
Yeah.
But you got to take care of your family as well, and it's a balance. And if your family needs attention, then I would say don't hesitate to give it that attention. You know, that's not something you want to lose. Um, that is I wouldn't wish those problems on anyone. You know,
Yeah,
so you can leave. Like I said, we're not going to kill you if you leave, but we're not a gang
correct.
or military or whatever. But you know, if you need to take some time to get things straightened out, my thing is just let me know, man. Just communication. That's something that WNs are really bad at. They're really bad at communication. I don't know if it's like the personality, like INTJ, whatever personality we
Yeah.
attract, they don't like communicating. They don't like, I don't know. It's like weird. It's like they either over communicate or they under communicate.
No, that's dude, that's actually a pretty great observation because honestly, before I got into all of this, studying National Socialism, professing myself as a National Socialist, wanting to get active, wanting to get involved with all this, et cetera, et cetera. Dude, I love being alone. Like that's one of my wife's biggest gripes is that I don't want to go do anything because I truly don't. This is the first. This is the first thing, if you will, that I've actually wanted to do, that I wanna seek out. But that was a good way to of putting it. We want to take care of our families first, of course, but this is also very important. And if you think about it, what you are doing, you out there, Ben, you, run Ohio Nationalist Network, you actually are doing stuff not only for your family, but for future generations and for all white families. So that is a noble thing, man. Um,
Hey, we're actually doing it.
yeah,
Like, bro, we are actually doing things for white families. Like, this is not a joke. Like, I see a lot, dude. I see all these SS edits on Twitter, and it's like some old photo of some SS like on the Eastern Front, and like the caption is like, "It won't be easy." Like, it'd be a lot easier if you would get involved. Like, it
yeah,
doesn't have to be super super hard, and it's like you're not even doing anything. Like, it's like other people. Like, it just I don't want to say it cracks me up because it just really pisses me off, but
yeah,
it's goofy, man. It's goofy. You guys on if you're just like a social media Nazi, you guys look goofy. Just know that. Like you are posting pictures of great men who like fought and died while you like goon on like in your chair. It is
they're
very
stuck in the
strange.
goon cavern, brother.
Yeah, you gotta get out of the goon cavern. Um, it's just you guys look goofy. You can look less goofy uh, if you join IRL and start doing things that are productive. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, that's what has led me in this direction. But so does ONN here's another question. Does ONN specifically do outreach or do you guys have plans? We kind of sneak peeked it in the beginning. Do you have plans to run for local governments? Um, is that even a thought process behind what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm open to it. Um, I've talked to some of the guys about it. It's really a logistics thing. If someone is running for local government and they're, in Ohio or, if someone's close in like northern Kentucky or like over in Indiana, dude, we'll help you. We'll help. You know, put up yard signs. We'll help with your campaign, like free of charge. We would love to have more of our guys in local politics. It's not the end all be all. Um, but you can if you get involved in local politics, it is not the end all be all. Like you are not going to 100% solve the situation, but you can prevent like migrant hotels from popping up or abortion clinics, stuff like that. You can prevent that stuff from popping up if you're on like this local zoning board or something. And I let the Jews tell me what is and isn't effective a lot of the time. I remember a Judd Blevins in Oklahoma. This dude was in a what most people would consider a totally useless position, but he was a former Identity Europa guy, and he was on
Okay.
some like council board. And dude, the Jews spent I think it was close to $1 million to unseat him,
Wow.
and they did. They barely got it. They like just barely did it. If he would have had a team of 3 or 4 other guys that went into like a council board with him, he probably could have kept that. And then, even if those other guys were found out, the Jews would have had to spend more money. Like, if they only spent 1 million for one guy, they'd have had to spend a lot more money. Like, just cause the like it's okay to just cause your enemies problems. Like, even if you don't get to do anything, you've caused your enemy a problem, and that in itself is victory. So keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Do
dude.
we have
Great point.
plans currently to run anybody? Not really. I'm trying to talk to my guys. If anyone's out there and you're like, "Hey, I want to run," then do it. Get into contact with us. We will help you to the best of our ability. You know,
Yeah, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, without Fed posting, and this is a topic that comes up a lot, but do you think there's a political solution to our problems ultimately?
I mean, all solutions to a political problem. I mean, if it's a political problem, there's a political solution.
Okay.
You know,
That's a good way to
wh-
frame it.
whether that like political violence is political.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything. So much is political. You know, we don't endorse that. We don't endorse violence. Um, and my thing is just like, if I've studied revolutionary movements, I've studied the IRA, I've studied Hezbollah, and I've studied Mao. Mao was a terrible person, but there's plenty of things to learn from Mao. Like, there are things that Mao talked about that are totally applicable to our situation. And all these guys with guns, and it's like, guns are cool, dude. Be proficient. That's good, but at the end of the day, if the people aren't with you, you're gonna lose. Like, our goal is to win the people. If I have the people, I don't need a gun.
Yeah.
You know, just gets to that point where if you have enough people, you don't even need guns. Like, our goal is to we either need to take over the state or become the state. You know, if you provide enough services, one thing I learned from reading a lot on Hezbollah is, like, granted, they have the Iranians funding them, but
Yeah.
if Israel blows up someone's house in southern Lebanon, they own a construction company and they'll just fix it. And they're like, the populace is just like, well, Hezbollah's got me, so I'm going to back them up, because Lord knows the Lebanese state is not going to support me. So if we can take notes from that, it's not as hot here. People aren't getting their homes blown up by a foreign entity.
Yep.
Um, but if we do service like that, if we get a team of contractors to go and do work for free in poor white areas for people who need the help, and it's like, hey, we're Wignats, we're white nationalists, we're neo Nazis, but we're helping people for free and doing quality work. It's not going to matter, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's just not gonna matter. We might get pressure from the state. That's just something we have to deal with. But, like, winning the people is the most important thing. And I'm not trying to be cynical with this, by the way. Like, we're not just uh, doing charity. We're not doing charity. We're doing mutual aid. That's what it is. That is what we're doing. We're not providing scraps. We're not handing poor people our scraps, because a lot of us are poor. you know. Um, but that's something I gleaned uh, from, I guess, what the guys in Hezbollah are doing. They do a lot. It's not just combat stuff that they do, and we don't take after that side at all.
Yeah.
There's just why there's just no point. Um, and the same thing with the IRA. Like, they had the people with them. It did. They worked for years to have a culture of resistance against the British, and Hezbollah did the same thing. They have a culture of resistance against Israel. You know, hopefully we can avoid that level of heat in America. But what we have to do right now, the work that we have to do right now, is with our neighbors and the people around us. It's just getting them on our side. That's what matters right now. If someone comes at me and they're just like, guns, it's just like, Get away from me. You don't understand. It's like you don't get it. Hopefully that
Yeah.
explains uh, the position, I guess, and hopefully none of that is a Fed post. Um,
No, that was cool, dude. That was real cool. And I don't think that a lot of guys out there understand that we do want to win the minds of the people, and that is how we, win. So here's one, it's along the same lines. When do you think whites will become a minority in America, or or do you think that will ever happen? If so, when?
I hate to break it to you guys. Uh, that's already happened, in my opinion.
You think so?
We're already there, functionally. Like if you break things down, you know, half our population or so, and you know what? Part of me is like, I don't even. I'm not a numbers guy. This is all. This is full disclosure. None of this is based on numbers. This is just my observation. Most white people are above the age of 50. That means they can't have kids. That means they're not fighting age. That's half our population gone. Functionally useless in our struggle. Not entirely useless in our struggle, but like 80, 90% not, doesn't matter. So that leaves everyone under the age of like 40. How many of those people are going to have kids versus like the insane amount of like Mexicans, Guatemalans, um, and Indians that are coming in? Just being real, I barely think about blacks. They're barely on my radar. I am so much more concerned. I mean, like they're obnoxious, don't get me wrong, but like the immigration from, you know, South America and India is so much more destructive because it just is. Some people will be like, "You're crazy, Ben," yada yada yada. But like those groups of people are so much more organized, and they're like, dude, the Mexicans, they're those cartels are insanely organized. Their intelligence is crazy. Their arms is crazy. Their organization is crazy, and they're everywhere. The Indians, they've totally taken over so many. Geez, dude, the
They
only
take the
people
high
that are
paying
like
jobs.
the only people that are close to as nepotistic, dude. Indians might be more nepotistic than Jews.
They
Like
might be.
dude, they might be. That's insane. I just, it's not to like take away from black crime. Like, don't get me wrong. Everyone knows, but it's just everyone knows what's up with that. Like, I don't know if people get how organized the Indians and the Mesoamericans are. They're very organized and they're very tight. That's my biggest concern. And I have worked with them. I have worked with the Guatemalans before, and they're all like, "I want to have 9 kids," and it's just like, "Why?" They're just like, "Because I want to," and it's like, "Because I can," because your government gives me money, and I'll tell you what, man, they're they all hate little animals, dude. When I would do jobs with them, I had to like if I found a turtle or a snake, I had to get that away from them because they would try and kill them. They hate little animals, dude. They don't have the same level of compassion as us. Um, it's very, very weird people. But um, I think our numbers are we're functionally a minority, and we really need to start acting like it.
Yeah, I always have thought as soon as the boomers are all gone, as soon as they all die, then we're not only functionally, that's a great point. We are functionally a minority, but then we'll be literally a minority in our own country.
I
Um,
mean, good riddance, by the way.
the boomers, oh yeah, buddy.
I just, jeez, dude, like being a minority without boomers is probably better than our current situation. Just being real. Good fucking riddance. Selfish people, scum of the earth.
I
Like
love that.
like boomer hate. Like, mm, I'm just talking to them. Jeez, dude, these people are so selfish. Like, there's nothing up there with them. And there's nothing here either. There's no, you know, their attitude is just to hell with To hell with our kids. I won't be there. Just like, oh my god.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's kinda odd because it seems like men who our age in our 30s and then even younger, um, have this have this drive like, "Hey, I need to do something for the future," even if we would consider them our enemies, even some of those left-wing whack jobs, they wanna do it for the future of, whatever I don't even know if they want America, the future of their open border cesspool, whatever, but we all have this drive and this determination to secure a future for our people, and, yeah, I don't dude, I do not see it there with the boomers, and if be
You know what? I have a wild theory as to why that is,
please, yes,
both
go ahead.
left and right. Steve Irwin.
What the
Dude,
elaborate.
we all watched Crocodile Hunter growing up.
Yes?
Steve Irwin always taught about like preserving nature. And I think that was such a strong thing in us. And we were so impressionable when he was on TV. And I don't remember a lot of his movie, but like I genuinely, Steve Irwin was such a foundational thing with me. Like his love of animals. Like that's probably why I became vegan for like 7 years.
Crikey.
Yeah, crock indeed. But like I genuinely think that both left and right. I've thought about this before. I really do think it's Steve Irwin and Jeff Corwin to a lesser extent.
Oh, yeah, I
Animal
remember
Planet.
that guy.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
dude, Animal Planet. We watched Animal Planet.
Same.
That was like the one good thing that Zog gave us as kids that like may have bit them in the ass. Genuinely.
I need to start taking a
Steve Irwin
poll.
Nash.
All the white nationalists listening, if you guys watched a bunch of Animal Planet growing up, comment below. Let us know. Are we crazy? Because dude, everything you just
Real
said, I
millennial out.
related to.
Who up?
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Who
dude.
remember Homestar Runner?
I alright, hold on, homestarrunner.com hol I jam with that, homestarrunner.com was the shit, man. That's crazy. I thought no one else heard of that. But, dude, are you ready for I just got a couple questions here, and it's just gonna be a quick lightning round. Um, First one can be quick, second one, you can go into a little further explanation. Are you ready? Alright, first question. Did Hitler do anything wrong?
Mistakes were made, but it's okay.
I
Um,
got I asked someone else this recently, and they were like, "Well, yeah," and I said, "Yeah, I know. The only thing I can think of is he shouldn't have invaded Poland."
I would
At this
let
point,
someone
in
with more
retrospect.
I would let someone with more historical,
Correct.
knowledge speak to that, and they're like, "Yeah, mistakes were made, but, like, dude, this dude, Hitler, dude, you know, what do you say about the guy?" I mean, dude, he was homeless. His mom and dad died at, like I think his mom died at 13, his dad died at, like, 11. He was
Yeah.
homeless, and then he, like, joined the army and, like, got shot and then got gassed
Got
after that and
blinded,
still
yeah.
wanted to go and fight for his people, like, yeah, dude, hail Hitler. Hail Hitler.
Amen, brother. Alright.
Like, I'm not gonna denounce Hitler ever. I won't
No.
do that. You know, he did make mistakes. He was a human. You know, I don't worship Hitler.
Correct.
You know, I'm Catholic. I don't worship Hitler.
I'm
Great
Lutheran.
person to take influence from. But yeah, everyone makes mistakes, man. And before you ask, no, it never happened.
Oh, based. Okay, here you're like, "Hey, I told you earlier I'm based." But anyway, so what's here's another lightning round question. What's your view on women in the movement?
More women in the movement. We need like
Okay,
guys. Like I don't know if you've looked at Antifa, but like they have a ton of women, and they're they're frankly beating us, dude. Like,
numbers.
Antifa is filled with women. We have to offer women something. This whole this also this whole thing of like women stay in the kitchen. That's a very Puritan and like Middle Eastern thing. That is not a normal European attitude, and it's totally reactionary. It's a total reactionary position to you know women having it's a total reaction to our modern culture. But
Okay.
should we have more women in the movement? We fucking better. We better get more women in this movement, or it's going to stay what it is. We actually do have women in ONN, full
Nice, man.
disclosure,
Nice.
um, and they're all awesome. They rock. They aren't cowards either. And I will say one thing at our demonstration, we did a demonstration for Irina Zarutska on the west side of Cincinnati, and our women are based. Our women are based, dude. They just need women to get behind someone who is strong and fearless. That's
Yes.
why we need to go mask off. That's why we need to keep doing what we're doing. We need to
Dude,
be
I'm
fearless. Fear, just it has to be dropped. And don't get me wrong, like I am not this like everyone has fear. We have to just overcome it. It just is what it is. And it's actually okay to have fear, but it's not okay to let it stop you from doing what's right. Yeah, we need more women in this movement, man. Women are integral.
Yeah, dude, and you raise actually a very good point there. If you lead, and like you said, even if you are afraid and you overcome that fear, if you lead, they will follow. They follow us. And if we lead, you might as well say, "Hey, honey, right by my side, here you go." And maybe they're not suited for every role that a man can do or whatever, but to exclude them entirely, I think is foolish, I agree with that.
Well, like we had this Antifa guy flipping out. He was like jumping up and down in his car, like he was flipping out,
Jeez.
dude. He was flipping out, screaming at us. And this girl in front of us, someone's gonna clip that and like freeze that frame, and I'm gonna look totally insane. If you do that, send it to me. I'll make it my like profile picture
Use
on
it
my
for the thumbnail, okay.
don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
But
no, no.
this Antifa was freaking out. He drove by and he was like harassing us for like 15 minutes with his kids in the car, screaming at us, flipping out. Total Redditor. And I there's a video of me screaming, "Go back to Reddit! Go back to Reddit!" And he's screaming at me, and this lady in front of him is like, you guys rock. You guys are doing great. That's so great." And it's just like, dude, our women are based.
Right on.
They're based. They just need good leadership. It's we have to take responsibility. It's our fault. We are not leading them. You know,
We gotta lead.
there's a lot of circumstances that make it difficult, but at the end of the day, none of that matters. We have to do what we have to do.
Right on, man. Right on. And then, as we're coming to a close here, do you have any words of encouragement or advice for anyone who may be on the fence about doing in real life stuff? Like, what do you have any words of encouragement for those individuals out there tonight?
Yeah, man, just have heart. If you're not in Ohio, check out Nova. There's also our friends in Folksguard. I believe you know those guys too.
Yeah, I
If you're
do.
in the Midwest, um, us if you're in Ohio, and you can be in Nova and Folksguard and ONN for all I care. There are some groups that we don't allow cross pollination with, which you can DM me. I don't want to post
Yeah,
drama
yeah, that's a
or
personal stuff. Yep.
yeah. But man, one thing that just went through my mind when I was going through it was, what if my kids ask me what I did and then I say nothing? Like, not I don't say anything, but they're like, "Hey, what did you do, Dad?" To like even if things are bad, like I tried to do something. But what if like I can tell my kids I tried.
Yeah.
What if I couldn't say that? What if I said I did nothing? Can you imagine the shame? Can you imagine being a boomer? That's being a boomer.
Literally,
If
holy.
you don't get active IRL, and you guys can start your own organizations too, you know, and maybe I'll meet you guys down the road. But don't be a boomer, and don't be a Republican. Don't do
Transcend
it.
conservatism.
Yeah, don't do that. You have free will, and you can do things that are powerful. You have free will, guys. The thing that's stopping most of our guys is fear. It's fear, and it's cowardice, and it has to stop. You have the opportunity to separate yourself from all the larpers. Are you a larper? Are you a boomer? The decision's on you. It's up to you. You have that power. That's what I would say to anyone on the fence. If you're on the fence, think about what being on the fence at this moment looks like. 15 to 20,000 black on white rapes every year. Jews running everything. Our nation is being invaded on every front, and you're on the fence. Pick a side. It's that simple.
Pick a side. I like that, dude. That was powerful. That was powerful. Now,
If I could
um,
say one thing
please.
um, to the black pillars and doubters and faggots who say, okay, well, all that stuff is happening, but what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? We'll get involved and find out. And I've already told everyone what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to make every white person I come across a National Socialist, a white nationalist, and then we're going to do something about it. So that's what we're going to do about it. Didn't mean
Right
to interrupt.
on. No, that's dude, that's awesome because we get we get people who are like, "Well, I know I can't do anything. I can't do anything alone." Well, that's what we're
Who
saying.
told you that?
You can't
Who
well,
told you?
alone, we're just sitting online. Being alone, that's all we are, we're alone. But whenever we're making it happen out there together as a group, as a racially conscious group of young men and women getting out there and going, that's what it's about. That's how things happen is when we come together.
Well, who said that? Who said there's nothing you can do about it? I always hear people say like, "Oh, what are you going to do about it?" I think a Jew said that and put that into people's minds. Well, what can I do? Like, that's so that's so hopeless and helpless and undignified. It's undignified. We need to restore our people's dignity. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? That is the question.
That is a good question, my friend. Now, do you want to go ahead and plug your Telegram and your X real quick? Again, guys, it's all the stuff that Ben is going to talk about. It's going to be linked in the description of this video.
You can find our main. We have two Telegram pages. One is shadow banned. I won't even bother with that one. Um, our main one is t.me/ Ohio Nationalist Network. All Not all caps, but caps at the beginning of each word. And then if you want to contact us, at ONN vetting, all caps. Journalists not welcome.
Journalists
I,
not
I don't speak
welcome.
to journalists. I don't speak to government agents. Don't bother. Inquiries only about joining. So,
That's awesome.
and then
That's
our
awesome.
Twitter. You can just find us on Twitter pretty easy. If you just type in Ohio Nationalist Network on Google, our Twitter comes up.
Yeah, dude. I
There's only one page. By the way, I will never message anyone, like, just in case of the whole crypto scammer thing. I think everyone knows it's Jeets, but, like, to my knowledge, that has not happened. But if it does, just say, I don't know,
do
deny
not
the Holocaust or
redeem.
something.
Do not redeem. Do not
Yeah, do
redeem.
not redeem $6 million, please.
Six million fart coin.
Yeah.
Those stocks are going up. But all right, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna link all that down below. Guys, you can follow me on X, you can follow Ben on X, and you can reach out to him. Let me tell you, just from my conversations that I've had with him, he's super easy to talk to and relatively great at getting back to people. We've had many of conversations on Telegram and on X. So you guys can reach out to him there. You can reach out to me there. And remember, if you guys want to leave a comment down below, go ahead. It does help the algorithm like the video if you haven't already, because we're about to wrap it up here. And Ben, I just wanted to thank you for coming on tonight and giving us some inside information on what a movement looks like. And yeah, man, I do appreciate it.
Can I give a shout out to some people real
Shout
quick?
out whoever you'd like, man.
Shout out Carson Brooks from Nova. Shout out Nate and Reinhardt from Nova. Um,
Good men.
Free Thomas Sowell, free James Fields, and free Brandon Russell.
Right on, dude. Right on.
Free all
All
our
right.
political prisoners.
Amen.
Total solidarity.
Amen, man. All right. This has been another episode of Mainstream Dissident. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Adam. I've been your host, and until next time.